Welcome back to the Blitz and Kick podcast, where we talk all football all the time.
With the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft.
All right, what is up, guys? We are back in the saddle again with a 2-round mock draft. We are going to do trades. I don't know that it's going to be insane, but we will do trades in this. Kyle, do we want to go ahead and start this the way that I think it's going to go?
Let's do it.
All right. That's pretty easy. All right, let's go 2. There is some debate here about whether it would be JJ, Jayden Daniels, or Drake May. I think May is starting to become the outlier of the 3 because for whatever reason people are like over the moon about this guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Jayden Daniels though has the best ceiling for me out of the 3 of them.
Yeah, I think Drake May does personally, but I don't see how JJ is going to go here. But you know what? You can get evens, and I'll take odds. So it's whatever you want, Jayden or Drake May. I think either are
and I saw this comparison the other day, and I feel like it's very true. Jayden Daniels is just a better RG3. And that made sense to me. Like, obviously, they're 2 very different players, but just the style of who he is and what kind of offense he brings, it would make sense that the Commanders say, okay, well, the only problem with RG3 was the injury history. It had nothing to do with his actual production. So maybe they like that fit. It's hard knowing what Cliff Kingsbury is going to want because I think Kyler was really the only quarterback he worked with that was kind of dual threat. So I could see them going May, but I just think if you're going to take out of those 2, I would prefer to have Jayden Daniels. But yeah, I think May had a good pro day. There's nothing wrong with May. I just think May is trending in the wrong direction right now.
I'm going to go Patriots here at 3. I'm going to go Drake May. I don't see how they escape this draft without drafting a quarterback. I mean, you're really going to go on Jacoby Brissett? Like,
they can't.
No way. Maybe they won't draft Drake May or Daniels, but at the very least, maybe a Bo Nix or maybe a Spencer Rattler. But even at that, that's not very convincing. So
consolation prizes. Prizes.
I mean, they're at the top of this draft, and they're going to get the cream of the crop types of quarterbacks. They're picking from Daniels or Drake May,
and honestly, next year's QB class we don't really know about. Like, it could be a couple more years if you don't do it now.
Yeah, I'm sure a couple will be okay next year. But like, if you're Gerard Mayo, if you're the Patriots GM, like, you don't want to be back in this position, right? You never want to be back in this position drafting this early because that means you suck. So when you're here, like, make it count. And you could either go receiver, but there's a lot of receivers in this draft. There's not a Drake May in round 2, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go Drake May at 3. Keep it simple.
I like it. Let's do this one together. I think
it's Marvin Harrison here. The more that I think about it,
really,
yeah, I think the
you
Chargers.
Don't think the no workouts. You don't think the attitude. You don't think that's going to impact him at all.
No, I think it's a match
for
them. I mean, you can do what you want, obviously. For my pick 5, I was thinking that would be the spot for a trade up with the Vikings.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that then.
Okay. Because at 5, Chargers have a lot of holes, right? They Mike Williams is gone. Keenan Allen's gone.
Where's the Vikings? I got that.
Quentin Johnson has bricks for hands, and their offensive line defense still needs a lot of help. And, Harbaugh wants to retool this team in the way that he wants to, the way he sees fit. And I don't think he can do that with just pick number 5. I think he wants to bring a different dimension to this team. And if the Vikings are like, hey, we want to trade up and we want to trade up for JJ McCarthy, I think Harbaugh's like, all right, like you're a good team for him to go to. Like Kevin O'Connell's good. Their weapons are good. Like that's a good situation for him. So in my opinion, I think this is where the spot is, because if they don't get this quarterback at 5, the Giants are going to take McCarthy, no doubt. So I think the Vikings have to trade up and get JJ at 5.
And that's the same argument I would have had for 4.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Cardinals just suck. Like there's so many holes on their team. Yeah, Marvin's fine. But at the end of the day, like if you can get 2 first-rounders, some future capital, keep building around it, and actually trying to help Kyler, because I feel like they haven't done a super great job of helping Kyler, which Kyler hasn't helped himself with his COD stuff. Yeah. But just saying, like if that's your whole plan is to stick with Kyler, then stick with Kyler and work with him. But I don't mind Marvin Harrison. I don't mind that. So either one of those, I think maybe it'll get a little clearer as we get closer to the draft. But so what is Minnesota offering?
I think 11-23, and then
their first.
Yeah, I put the first in just to see if it'll go through. I think at the very least it'll be a second.
Ooh, ouch. Okay, let's try that again. So who in the world am I trading with? There we go. So 5, 11, 23, a first, maybe what, a fourth?
Just put in the whole draft to see if that works.
All right.
Or just do 11 and 23. I don't know, because I think the tough part about this is which side you're doing it from.
That's
so fun. Yeah, go Vikings and then just go 11 and 23 for right now. Right. And I feel like that should do it. No. All right, go Vikings first, and then Chargers. And then offer 11, 23, and then their whole pick, all their picks next year. And just force it to go through, and that should do it, I think.
Can you force it? Oh, okay. All right, so we got to do it backwards. All right.
So I think that's not going to be the trade. It'd probably be like 11, 23, and then maybe like a second next year. I think that would do it. And I think JJ McCarthy is the pick here at 5.
Oh, for sure.
Because you can't have Sam Darnold. That's not. No way. So you're up at 6. What do you think?
Big Blue is kind of in trouble here because I think Big Blue wanted to walk out with a quarterback, and they get jumped by the Vikings, who've been pretty well paired with wanting a quarterback in this draft, whether that be May or McCarthy. I don't think they really care. They'll take either one and be happy. But this leaves Big Blue in kind of a hard spot of there's a lot of things they need to work on. But I think it's pretty simple that you need to get playmakers for Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones is your guy and you're going to spend that money, invest in the stuff to get him. So I think it's going to be Malik Neighbors here at 6.
Makes sense. I could also see a vision of Brock Bowers too if Darren Waller's MIA, but I think it makes sense for Neighbors. 7.
When is Darren Waller's not MIA?
Yeah, that's true. He's gone. Titans at 7. I think this is the easiest pick. Just pick Joe Alt and move on to the Falcons. Falcons, the consensus is Dallas Turner, but I think they could go a lot of places. What do you think? Where are they going to go?
You know, honestly, I thought Dallas Turner for a long time, but I could also see them going corner maybe with like a Terrion Arnold or a Quinyon Mitchell.
Okay.
Maybe even going as crazy as going Nate Wiggins if they're interested in speed. I think, though, that I read a report that we're higher on Quinyon Mitchell than the league is. So I think if I'm going to go here, I think I'm going to go Terrion Arnold to the Falcons.
Nice. I like that pick. Bears at 9.
Do you think they'll keep that pick?
The Bears?
Yeah.
I think if the Raiders or Broncos want Bo Nix or Penix, I think the Bears at 9 is an ideal spot for them because if you think about it, the Bears trade down with the Broncos. They could still get a receiver there or a top offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Because you think about the Jets could take a lineman or Brock Bowers. The Chargers will probably take a lineman. But who knows? Who knows if they want to risk that? I think if the Bears were to stay, it's Roma Dunze all day.
Yeah. Is that what you want to do in this draft?
Yeah, I'm just going to go Roma Dunze here, I think. Yeah.
That works. I'm on 2 coins here.
Okay.
I'm on the coin of stay home, get a playmaker. But also, I've heard a lot of crap about the Colts wanting to move up to get Brock Bowers, which
Okay.
makes sense. Which makes sense. Get more weapons for Anthony Richardson, make his job a lot easier. Don't force him to do anything crazy. Sorry, I just saw something. Okay. Do you think the Jets are even willing to give up that opportunity to get Brock Bowers? Like, let's just say this is the phone call right here, and the Colts are saying, okay, we'll give you 15 for 10. We'll give you a future second and 82 to move up to 10.
I think that's possible. I think the more likely outcome is trading up with the Bears for Brock Bowers, or even trading up with the Chargers, because I think the Chargers could trade down again.
I think they need to jump the Chargers, though, because honestly, the Jets, we know this. The Jets did some homework. They got some good offensive line help that you could still draft offensive line, but you don't have to right at this pick.
Right.
They afforded themselves the ability to be a little more flexible with this pick.
True.
I do think they'll – I don't think the trade for Aaron Rodgers was – let's be as disappointing as possible with one of the best quarterbacks we've had in a long time. I think it's we need to win now. We need to surround these young guys with talent and win. And I think
that's why I think that's why I think it's Brock Bowers probably for the Jets.
I think so too. Yep.
You know, I do like the Colts trading up because I could definitely see that, and I'm cool if you want to do it right here with the Chargers and the Broncos, or Chargers and the Colts. Because I think
I can see
the Broncos are definitely interested in Brock Bowers. I can see that happening.
Colts first, Chargers.
So I'd offer 15, and then I'd offer second next year, and see if that works.
Awful. All right, let's try that again.
Because
you go ahead and talk, and I will figure this out.
Will the Broncos go after a quarterback? You know, I don't know. I mean, it's all about Penix and Bo Nix. But if Brock Bowers was there, I think the Broncos would probably do it. So Colts are up at 11.
Ooh, but I took Brock Bowers at the Jets.
Oh, shoot.
All right, hang on. Take a mental thing of what we just did, and I'm going to restart this real quick. Sorry. I realized I did it before I did all that. That's fine. I know what we did here. So
Caleb Williams at 1.
Jaden
Daniels at 2.
Drake
at 3.
Marvin
at
trade.
4.
We did this
with the Vikings.
Yep.
Wonderful. So I think that is the tough part about after 10 is will we see a run on offensive linemen? You know, or will we have teams trading up for some of these receivers, tight ends are coming. So Jets. So
are we sold on Brock Bowers? I think it's the slam dunk pick. I don't think it's the most likely pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would excite a lot of people, but also like I could see an offensive lineman too, because like look at their tackles. It's Tyron Smith, who's ancient, who's always hurt. He's old, so it makes sense. And then Morgan Moses, who's I think 32. So like, and none of their offensive linemen can stay healthy. So like Brock Bowers would make sense in terms of win now mode. All these receivers are already gone, right? So that sucks for them. So I mean, I could see Brock Bowers, but I could see.
I know what I'm gonna do here, and I'll explain. So Fuaga's been linked to the Jets for months now,
and I like that. I think
they like him. It makes sense. He's flexible, like you said, and this still works for us to see that realistic Chargers just going, okay, let's just rebuild for Harbaugh here, and now this will make sense. So what the crap did I have to do to make this happen?
That probably will work.
All right, that's good. All right, so Brock Bowers is here.
Yep. All right.
Let's talk about that for a second. I think that's just the best case scenario for the Colts. Now, Colts fans, I understand you're saying, dude, what about our corners? Why would you blow off all these great corners for this? Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that the corners are incredibly deep in this class, and there's a lot of different flavors of corner that you can still get later. Juju Brents is fine. They locked up things with Kenny Moore, didn't they? They did an extension this offseason. So it's not the biggest need, I think. I think surrounding Anthony Richardson with weapons, which we've seen before, the number one weapon that a young quarterback looks to is their tight end. And if you can get a Tony Gonzalez, George Kittle, all these names that have been thrown out about Brock Bowers, if that's what you get with that pick, chef's kiss. You're going to have that for years.
Yeah, and I think too, like with the style of offense they run, RPOs are definitely in Shane Steichen's bag, and I think like running RPOs with tight ends like coming off the line, I think Brock Bowers could do a lot of damage in that type of offense, just scheming him open and stuff. Broncos at 12. This is you. I have no idea. I really don't. Because I think they're a travesty of an organization right now, and they could use pretty much everything. So I will defer to you and wherever you want to go.
If you want my honest opinion.
Dallas Turner. I like that. They need pass rush. Pass rush is where you start. Offensive lineman, pass rush.
But they could truly take anything. You're right.
I think so
I
too.
just don't know with them. They're the biggest wild card in the top 15.
Yeah, I just think it's so early. Raiders, I'm going to go Penix here, I think.
Really? You're not going to take Olu?
No, I mean, I like Olu, but I think they're going to be desperate.
What a steal for the Saints then. So Penix, okay. Well, then I know exactly what I'm doing at 14. It's going to be Olu because their recent experiments at tackle have just not been it. Especially Trevor Penning has been. So
Chargers,
I think you still get a good guy for a discount basically at 14 and solidify that for years to come for whoever the crap is back there throwing the ball.
Chargers, I'm going to go Latham here. I think he wants big, powerful bodies, and I think this is the perfect pick for him. I think he probably would have taken him in the top 10, but he trades down and gets his guys. So
this is where things get tricky, Carlito. Okay, you got to help me on this one. I'm hedging between Troy Fautanu and Johnny Newton.
Yeah,
because I think they're going to start on the front part of the line, on either side of the ball. But I just don't know what is a bigger need for them. But I think it's got to be Fautanu.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, Fautanu.
Because talking about these flexible linemen, there's a lot of them in this draft that can kind of be plug and play wherever. And I think Fautanu is one of those guys you can just stick in and not have to worry about. And should work well with Charles Cross.
Yeah. Jaguars at 17. I'm going to go Quinyon Mitchell here.
Yep. I knew that. I knew that was coming. So I know Johnny Newton had a good pro day. I know that he kind of overcame his Jones fracture. But I just think Byron Murphy just killed it at the combine, that if you're not drafting Byron Murphy, you're making a big mistake.
19 Rams. I'm going to go Liatu Latu here.
Whoa, hang on. I clicked on a weird button. Yep.
Losing, Aaron Donald's pass rush there, just trying to get better along the line of scrimmage. I think that's their kind of guy at 19. 20 for the Steelers.
Let's just be easy about this and go Marius Mims.
Yep. Makes sense. Pair him up with Broderick Jones. 21 Dolphins. Maybe. Can you go up a little bit?
Sure.
That's definitely a possibility.
Verse Thomas, Newton, Robinson, Wiggins.
I'm gonna go Johnny Newton here, I think, instead.
Ooh.
Christian Wilkins is gone. I think we're gonna replace him a little bit. So you have the Eagles.
Oh, you let me have the Eagles? How nice. Well, Kyle, it's very difficult because you guys had kind of a rough offseason in terms of retirements.
True.
You could go so many spots here. I'm hedging between Nate Wiggins and Cooper DeJean. I think DeJean is the better long-term player. It concerns me that Wiggins ran really fast, but also got hurt.
He's very light. I don't know if he'll hold up.
I'd rather have the fast white guy, I think, there for the Eagles.
Yeah. So Chargers.
What did we take with the Chargers? J.C. Latham. Okay.
Oh, this could work out for them. Give me Yeah, it's one of those two, honestly.
I know.
My fear is Brian Thomas is a little bit too much like Quentin Johnson, but
Agreed.
Quentin Johnson sucks. So, man, I'm gonna go Jared Verse here. I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna go Jared Verse at
That works.
the Chargers.
So I'm going to scroll all the way down and find the most random player that we would have never projected for the first round. And that would be the most accurate thing for the Cowboys to do in the first round. Sorry, Cowboys fans. Let's get real here. I think it's either Graham Barton or JPJ.
I agree. Yep.
I think I'm going to go Graham Barton. He has gotten a lot of love recently.
Mhm.
He's another one of those flexible guys that can play a couple different positions.
Yeah.
And their cabinet is kind of running bare here on O-lineman.
Yeah. Yep. Packers.
I would expect you to back that up with the Packers too. So what O-lineman am I selecting for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where you go. I'm not in love with Nate Wiggins. I don't know if the Packers would draft Nate Wiggins. I'm thinking, however, it is that division, and you have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Moore. That's a thing. You know what? I'm gonna go Nate Wiggins here. See if I can lock up the rest of the NFC North corners with him.
Let me just see what my options are here. I know what I want to do, but I just want to see what's in here. Oh, okay, yeah. Chop Robinson, 100%.
Nice.
Yep.
Cardinals, they went with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yep.
Defense. Wow, Brian Thomas is still there. Imagine that. I won't do it, but that would be cool.
No, that'd be insane.
What's their center depth like? Let me see. Because if JPJ is still on the board, they could use a powerful center. I just don't know.
That would be interesting.
Who they have.
That usually tells you everything.
Go ahead and draft JPJ. That makes sense.
Works. Yep. Well, then we're going to make this easy. Brian Thomas.
Lions up at 29. Give me Kool-Aid. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so in the Reddit page for the Ravens, there's a lot of debate about what we should be doing in round one. And honestly, it's come down to two positions, which is offensive tackle and wide receiver. And I just think this wide receiver class is so deep that we could pass on Xavier Worthy and Adonai Mitchell and still get something good later. But I don't know that I'm in love with Tyler Guyton. I would rather see them go for Jordan Morgan, I think.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my pick. I'm sure that'll shock some guys down the line, but I don't see us taking a receiver. It would be great if we did. I'd be really excited, but I can't see us doing it.
Yeah. That's who I would have picked for the Niners. So I think I will go instead to Tyler Guyton for the Niners.
Well, so what flavor of Texas receiver do you want, really, is the question. Or you could do your favorite thing to do in this draft.
Nah, that's all right. I think that used to be the thing. I think he's not falling, but I think there are other guys that are rising up that might go ahead of him.
I have kind of a controversial opinion on this. I feel like personally I would rather have A.D. Mitchell than Xavier Worthy. Worthy is just so small.
Yeah,
He's fast. He's fast, and that's great. But his frame is just so tiny. I remembered seeing it at the combine and going, ooh. Of course you ran a 4.21. I feel like 80, especially with the Rashee Rice stuff going on, would be a better long-term fit than Xavier Worthy. And it's sad because I'm comparing Xavier Worthy to John Ross's career at this point. Yeah. But he could be different. Who knows? But just for me, it would be A.D. Mitchell. So let's go ahead and type that one in there.
So Panthers at 33. I'm in between two guys. And that's Worthy and Keon Coleman here. Yep. Now they have Thielen. They have Deontay Johnson in a trade. They drafted Mingo last year.
Yep.
If you're drafting Coleman, you're basically saying Mingo, already screwed up on that one. So I'm going to go Xavier Worthy here. Bryce Young did not look downfield at all last year because he had nobody to throw to downfield. So, and he has an arm, he can get it downfield. So, let's do Xavier Worthy at 33.
Okay. This is an unprecedented time to be drafting for the Patriots because if Bill Belichick was here, we'd be picking some random O lineman.
Right.
But I feel like Mayo, as much as Mayo wants defense, your offense is the problem. And you have to assess that quickly. And I think Keon Coleman and Drake May could provide a little juice to that offense.
Okay.
So I'm going to go Coleman. So, okay, so we took JPJ, we took Marvin Harrison. At this point, they can kind of afford to be a little splashy here in the second.
Yeah. I'd probably go. Can I see the corners?
Yep.
Corners are like
TJ Tampa, Max Melton, Ennis Rakerstraw, Kamari Lassiter, Chris Abrams Drain, Mike Sainristil. Okay, so I don't know if you've been seeing these reports too, but this is a sneaky first round guy apparently. People love Mike Sainristil.
Yeah.
How about Kalen King here in the second?
Get out of here. Let me go with. I'm gonna go somewhere else. I'm gonna go Darius Robinson.
Yep.
35.
That makes a lot of sense. That does not surprise me. All right, so we took Jaden Daniels, and now we'll take Bo Nix. No, I'm sorry. However, this is kind of a win-win scenario if the board falls this way, and I hate that I'm just picking from the top. But I will say I loved what I saw from Kingsley Suamataia at the Combine. And it would make sense that if you're going to start over with a quarterback, start building stuff around him, build a line for him first, and protect him. So I think I was very tempted to take Christian Haynes, but I just think Suamataia has that red – shoot, I'm not even a Commanders fan or, Redskins at that point. Red Hogs, Big Hogs, Hogs, what were they called?
Hog Haven? I don't know.
Something about their offensive lineman years ago. If somebody knows, drop that in the comment. But yeah, years ago, apparently they had like a really good O-line, and that was what they were known for. So maybe it's time to go back to that. Yeah. Chargers. So what did we take for the Chargers? We moved around.
We got Big Boy Latham.
And J.P. Latham. Whoop.
Give me Ladd, baby. Get your receiver. Give me Ladd McConkey.
I like it. Tennessee is going to take a quarterback again for another year. This is hard. What did they do this offseason? Didn't they get a receiver?
They got Calvin Ridley. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you. I couldn't remember who it was. So this feels like a luxury pick at this point to go in here and take somebody. So we already took Alt. So, you know what I'd like to do? And this is really going to frustrate people. Let me just see who's in here. Because they let Aziz.
Yeah, Al-Shaair. Yep.
Yeah, they let him go. So this maybe makes sense here. I know if he was healthier, he'd be in first-round conversation, even though that's not really a popular thing to do. I do like him. So, okay. They took Worthy. Okay.
Worthy. Who's that defensive end? See if I can replace Brian Burnings. Might not be able to. Kind of. I don't know. That might be a little bit too rich for Adisa. Is that too rich for him? Maybe. And they had Yetzer. He didn't do that well.
There's a lot. Okay.
Can you go offensive? Actually, no. What? I'm going to go to Jatavion Sanders here, I think.
Yeah, 1 second. Cool. Okay. Commanders. We took Daniel Suamataia. Interesting. What could if you won't take Adisa Isaac, I'm just kidding. Speaking of people that are being talked about in the first round, Marshawn Nealand has been getting a lot of love recently. I don't know if it's just smoke. I don't know if he would really jump all these dudes. But let's just say for the sake that the Commanders don't know how to draft, they're going to take Marshawn Nealand.
Okay.
Packers took Wiggins.
Wiggins, that's it so far.
Here, let me go to all. Sorry, go ahead.
Wiggins. I think we should go lineman here and give me who's at tackle? Patrick Paul. Ooh, that's interesting. He's a big boy. Kieran Amagadaje. That's interesting. You know what? Yeah, give me Kieran.
Yeah, I like that. You were high on him a while back. Texans. Well, there's a lot of things the Texans could do. Like, keep your first round pick, but whatever. Let's go look here. I don't. Oh, you know what would be a steal for them in the second round?
Ooh, I like that. Yep, Fisk.
Wow, that would have been totally worth it if they can walk away with that after getting rid of their first rounder. Wow. So we took Terry on Arnold in the first.
Okay, then I think I'm gonna go something different. Can you go Xavier Legette here? I think.
Yeah, I sure can. That's pretty smart. Raiders.
They got Penix.
How crazy do we want to get here, Kyle?
Oh, interesting. I could see one of the first two guys going here.
Yeah, I just don't know who because injury concern, age concern, production concern, durability concern. Like, there's just a problem with all of them.
Yeah.
But I think if you were just going to take, I really want to take Braylon Allen here because he's that big body style of runner. But I feel like Jonathan Brooks fills that more Josh Jacobs role that they had. So I know they liked him. They just didn't want to pay him. So let's just say they just replace him with the closest thing they can get. Saints.
Saints here. Give me Bo Nix.
Yep. I had a feeling that was coming. Okay, so now let's go corner here because we still have a whole lot of good stuff to pick from in here. I'm between. There is some good stuff in here still. I'm truly between Kamari Lassiter and Mike Sainristil because safety is also a problem for the Colts.
Yeah, I would say that.
Actually,
Nubin is there.
Ooh, okay. Yep. That's what I want. Actually, come to think of it.
Okay. Giants
took Neighbors.
All right. Neighbors. Yeah, give me Christian Haynes here. I think he's still on the board somewhere.
Yeah, there he is. Cool. Jags. Who did we take with the Jags? We took Quinyon Mitchell, I think, but I'm just gonna double check that. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. In that case, we have options. Oh, Lord. I could pick a whole bunch of stuff in here. So Troy is getting some love, but I didn't love his combine, and it makes me think he's going to suffer from that because a lot of people thought he was going to be the guy at the combine, and he wasn't. Now, two guys that had a very good Senior Bowl and combine are right in here. And I'm thinking if I had the choice between these two guys, sorry, Roman Wilson, I would rather have Ricky Pearsall here for them.
Nice.
Bengals, they took Byron Murphy.
Okay. Then I'm going to stick along the line of scrimmage here. I'm going to go give me Zach Frazier. I don't know if they need a center, but I think he's too good to just keep falling. So,
boy, am I just going to get to pick for your team all draft?
Guess so.
Cooper DeJean. Well, you know what I want to do if I were smart. Okay, now we have options here. Howie, I would be happy to send you my resume. Here's exactly what you should do. A lot of people are going to tell you to go for the freight train, Edgerrin Cooper. But I just like the production of Cedric Gray better in college. And I think actually, you could take Jeremiah Trotter and make.
I like Junior Colson.
I'm really happy. Junior Colson's very good also. This is kind of hard. That's kind of what kind of flavor do you want? Let's go.
Like Cooper's the blitzer. Yeah, Gray's coverage guy.
Yep.
Steelers. We got the big boy tackle with our first pick.
Mims. Yep.
I think it's receiver here for sure. They're notorious for drafting receivers in the second round. So they have George Pickens. So give me Roman Wilson. I think that would make a lot of sense.
Interesting. What did we do with the Rams? We took Latu, didn't we?
Yep.
Decisions. I just don't love TJ Tampa. I don't know if I'm racist or
I'm not there yet. I like Max Milton, Rekestra.
Lassiter.
Yeah.
Even Chris Abrams Drain I would take here. I just don't love his tape. I mean, if I was being really crazy, I'd go down here and pick up Daquan Hardy. He was here somewhere, wasn't he?
Don't take him.
He had a good combine. I don't know that he's a round 2 guy, but he could be.
No.
Let's just go Kamari Lassiter. Georgia guys have proven they can do it at the next level.
Yeah.
Hey, you get to pick
I'm picking for the Eagles. So we got our linebacker and we got
safety
/ corner.
Yep.
So give me Cooper Beebe.
Cooper Beebe. The Browns. How can I make the worst possible choice for the Browns? Because it's oh wow. Actually, I'm so sorry, Kyle.
Oh, that's fine.
No. Think about this for a minute. Okay, so you're stuck in that contract with Ding Dong.
They did sign like 14 quarterbacks already.
I know, because what I would have done, and this would have made a lot of sense, was to go get Joe Milton. I'm being serious. Had they not signed a whole bunch of people, I would have signed somebody and have a contingency plan, because Watson didn't even play when he was cleared to play.
Yeah.
Like, how do you contend with that? Like, I would start looking for his replacement. But the sad thing is, none of these guys were overly sexy to me. Rattler was okay. Pratt didn't do very well. Broken leg boy. And obviously the biggest arm out of all those guys sits right here. But they're not going to do that. Wide receiver, they just loaded up on. That doesn't make any sense either.
Yeah.
Let's go offensive lineman. This is a deep class. Ooh. Let's take the big boy. How big is he again? He's like 6'7". Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Either that or Rosengarten, but I'll just take Patrick Paul just to make this easier. I could sit here all day.
So Dolphins went Jerzon Newton, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's go offensive line here.
Yep. Rosengarten, Christian Mahogany, Pooney.
God, that's not a. Give me me Rosen. That's true. Give me Rosengarten here.
Yeah, you got it. Bing bang. What did we do with them? We took an offensive tackle. Oh, we took Barton. Ooh, that really does open up what you can do here. Pollarder's gone. Who the crap is their running back?
Nobody. They just signed Royce Freeman, so that tells you all you need to know.
Braylon Allen. Sounds good. Moving on.
Buccaneers in the first round went Chop.
Yep.
So I'm going to go TJ Tampa here. Goes to Tampa Bay. Let's do it.
Packers have done a couple things. Kieran, Nate Wiggins. What else can we do to underperform for the Packers? Because that's what they're going to do. Let's. Sure.
Nice. Texans.
Braden Fisk.
We got Braden Fisk. All right.
Yeah. Do you want to see the corners?
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Give me Sainristil here.
Yep, that makes sense. Okay, so we took Brian Thomas, and we got rid of our safety this offseason. Lots of options here. You had such a bad combine. Yeah.
Cool. Bishop. Lions up at 61. I'm gonna go Disa.
Yep, I like it.
Pair him up with
Ravens. We took Jordan Morgan. let's see. We got Derrick Henry. That'll be a rental for a couple years.
Troy Franklin's there.
Yeah. Honestly, you know what I'd rather have? This guy. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. I am just looking through here just to see. Yeah. I'd rather have Jalen Polk, I think.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
His combine was just so bad for how fast he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see that going well. Anyways.
So 49ers. I'm going to go Rekestra here for the Niners.
Yep. Let me go grab him. Kansas City grabbed Worthy? No. Adonai Mitchell. That's right. Yeah. Just won a dang Super Bowl. I don't know what you need. Well, let's play a fun game. I always like to play with these last picks that we do. Let's just assume. Let's put our Swifty hats on for a second. Let's assume they get serious. His brother's already hung it up. He could win one more and probably decide that he's done. If he does do that, what is the contingency plan for the Chiefs? Probably not much. So that would make me want to look at another good receiver. Now, if they went late and picked somebody later, I'd say either Dallin Holker or Tip Ryman, because Tip Ryman had a very good combine.
Mm-hmm.
But he's here. He's kind of one of your favorite guys.
Yep.
He did have a good combine. He's a good receiver. Didn't play well in the Senior Bowl, but bounced back with a really good combine. It would make sense that they go get somebody to replace him if he does make that decision down the line.
All right. So Benson,
not a like do or die pick, but you just want. You can afford to be a little. Yeah. Anyways, so here's a first round. Caleb, Jaden, Drake, Marvin, JJ, Malik, Alt, Arnold, Odunze, Fuaga, Bowers, Turner, Penix, Fashanu, JC, Fatanu, Mitchell, Byron Murphy, Latu, Mims, Jerzon, because apparently people don't know how to say Jerzon, Cooper DeJean, Jared Verse, Graham Barton, Nate Wiggins, Chop, JPJ, Brian Thomas, Kool-Aid, Jordan Morgan, Tyler Guyton, and AD Mitchell. Who was your winner from round one, Kyle? There was a lot of stuff that took place. Or winners, if you can't just pick one.
I love Colts getting Brock Bowers. Big fan. Also a big fan of the Chargers getting picks and getting guys along the line of scrimmage, because I think that would make a lot of sense for them. And also, I love Bills getting a receiver because they need one.
I'd have to say the only other one that you didn't mention is the Saints. I think if you can stay at 14 and get a tackle, like a franchise tackle, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yep.
Losers from round one. I'd say the Raiders jumping up to get Penix. He's getting around one grade, but he's old. Like, I just don't know that I would spend the draft capital on that. Like, I would rather have J.J. McCarthy, which I know Antonio Pierce wants to move up, but the GM does not. So that's going to create a problem for them. I think the other thing that I don't love, I don't love Graham Barton to the Cowboys, especially when Jerry Jones came out and said that they're all in on this offseason and they did absolutely nothing. To walk away with an O lineman and that's it. When isn't Dak in a contract year this year?
Yep. So a CD.
Yep, that's bad. Like, you're banking on having an O line for what quarterback exactly?
Yeah.
And I think the only other loser I'd have to say, the Ravens, just because they have to pick out of necessity. Because they did so well this past season that you would think, oh, okay, there's no problems. But between like guys getting old, guys getting traded, you don't love to be in a spot where you're drafting for need at 30. You'd rather be drafting for need from 1 to 15. So it just feels like we have to take what's there for us instead of what would be most beneficial for the Ravens. So
I would say my loser for this entire draft before we go is the Giants, and that's because they didn't get a quarterback.
Nope.
All right, and they got a receiver who's probably going to want the ball a lot,
Yep.
and DJ will not be able to get the ball to him, and that's going to make them implode. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking through round 2 here too. I think one of the big winners of round 2 is probably the Panthers for only having 2 picks on the second round. If you pull Jatavion Sanders and Xavier Worthy,
2 Texas boys.
That's pretty good for Bryce Young.
Yeah, getting them some help.
Yeah.
You need to do that.
Yep.
ASAP.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, well, thanks for hanging, guys. If you are not familiar with what's going on soon, we are having our annual live mock draft where we have friends, family, fans jump on with us, pick a team, draft like it's the real NFL draft. You will come up to your team, you will make your presentation, you will say the pick is in, and it's just a fun event that everybody can join in on. That will be, oh shoot, Kyle, what's the date for that? I'm sorry.
That is the 24th.
It is the 24th on draft eve. We will do that live mock. If you're interested in picking a team, if you're interested in drafting with us, please reach out to us. Send us a Facebook message. Send us an inbox on Twitter. Get a hold of us. Let us know. We'd love to have you on and draft together. But that's everything that we have for this week, guys. Thanks for hanging. And we will see you next week with do we determine what we're doing next week? It's a mock draft, but I don't know what kind of mock draft we're going to come out with.
I think it's just next week's the live one.
Oh, that is next week. My God. That's how things are going for us. Anyway, we'll see you guys later and have a great evening.